Shit. And you know what that means? We are live. Sleepless Radio presents Pull Up a Chair, episode 7. You know the faces, you know the voices, you know the intros, but we love to do them anyways. It's your host, El Tucker Tente, the ultimate motherfucking sensei, the one who, of course, taught Bruce Lee everything he motherfucking knows, a.k.a. Space Mountain Stoney, a.k.a. Bed Burgundy. Why? Because they sleep on your boy, a.k.a. Young Dumbledore, the lyrical wizard, Big Stoney, Montana. And who is sitting to my left?
Is me. Super Fried Snippet. You already know. We getting going. We getting rolling.
We are here. 9/11. Sorry to all those people that lost their lives 21 years ago. Everybody's in good spirits today. Football's back on. The world is in unison.
Football.
Yes, sir. We got. If you're wondering what we're looking at periodically, we do got the Vikings and Green Bay on in front of us, and they are getting ready to go into halftime in about 25 seconds.
It's a rough start for Green Bay.
Yeah, rough outing.
Good start for Minnesota. But golly.
But on that note, how you been doing?
We good.
Been
We're
2
good.
weeks. We took last week off, which we'll get to that.
We got a little intermission, you know. We had hectic schedules.
Yes.
So we're back to regular routine.
Back to the regular scheduled program.
Regular routine.
As you know, last Saturday I was at a wedding. Wedding went great. I left with a great story that I can't wait to share with you right now.
Oh, God.
Come on, you can't have a whole wedding day with all those people and not get some content
Shout out
out
Joey.
of the day. Yes,
And
shout out Joey and Jessica Schmickla now. Sending all love to them. Baby on the way due now at the end of November. So we're excited for that. I'll be Uncle Tucker. So yeah, looking forward to that, and we wish them the best. However, I got to share this story about his brother at the wedding. So then we'll get into our topics.
Which brother?
So Johnny.
Okay.
So to make sure I break down this story well and I don't leave out any bits or pieces so everybody can get it when they watch this. So he has a girlfriend of 5 years. Her name is Brianna.
Johnny?
Girlfriend of 5 years.
Yeah,
Very
yeah.
serious relationship.
Cool. Good for that.
I knew what she looked like.
Right.
Well, I go to the bachelor party, and I'm like, in like the last 30 minutes of me being there, this other girl shows up, takes a couple hits, lays down with Johnny. And I'm like, well, I know that ain't her, but at the time I'm like, hey, you know, it's that's my boy, not my business. Hear no evil, see no evil, let him do what he wants. Day of wedding comes.
Whoa,
So,
Waggy.
I look at the order that everybody's like who's
shadow.
walking with who, and his girlfriend's there in like the pew and everything. He's walking with the bitch that he's got as the side. So like, you see what I mean? Like she's taking pictures over here, and Johnny walking down with that girl.
That, what it slept with.
Yes, and it gets worse because I'm best man again, so I'm trying to make sure that nothing goes south or anything like that. So. We're all getting ready to leave. Well, nobody had a plan of what car we're riding in. I just knew I was riding with Dylan because I left a half blunt that we didn't finish in his car.
Right, so I'm going back for that.
Yeah, I was like, we're riding to Squires.
Okay.
Yeah, so we're going from to Squires from where we were at Better on the Lake. So it's kind of like about a 25-minute ride. Well, anyways, the side girl was going to offer to drive. So she goes, hey, you know, like there's extra room in my car if anybody wants to ride with me. Johnny's girlfriend goes, yeah, like, why don't we just ride with her? And he's like, oh, well, we could ride with them. Like, they got the half blunt and everything. She goes, well, how about if you ride with them and smoke that, and I'll ride with her so I can start to know some other people here.
Okay.
And Johnny's like, all right.
Okay.
And he gets in the car, and, like, the first thing Dylan asks, he goes, so, like, she, like, knows that, like, that's your girlfriend, right? Like, this, like, not going to say any fuck shit. And he goes, well, no. He goes, they don't know about each other. I'm like, oh, shit. Like, I'm already in my head, like, this is going to go south.
Yeah.
And he goes, well, why do you think it's going to go south? I was like, bro, all it takes is for one of those people to ask, who do you know here? Or, like, just like, who do you know here?
Oh,
like,
yeah.
How do you know
Johnny's
Johnny?
my boyfriend of 5 years. Oh.
Well, that's odd.
Right.
Like,
either she doesn't say anything or she goes, well, I just slept with them last night. Ruh-roh. Just so you know.
Well,
awkward.
He goes, let's see. He goes, you know, because I kind of told him, I said, well, we'll know as soon as we get the pictures. Like, I'll be able to tell if, like, they're off or something.
Oh, yeah.
You know, something
You'll tell
weird.
the vibe. So
yeah. And bro, we get there, and I've never seen meaner mugs on a couple of bras. They were leaning up against their car, just fucking
waiting,
just stern face. Looked like the girlfriend had done some crying already. I'm like, oh fuck. And Johnny has the audacity to go. He goes, "Do you think they know?" I was like, bro, look at how they're looking at you. I was like, they haven't took your eyes off you since we fucking pulled in. Yeah. And I'm like, now they're walking over to the car. Cool. So I hop out real quick, and I come up. I was like, I already know the situation. They're like, just get out of my way. I was like, guys, please. I was like, not here. I was like, not our day for this. I was like, come on, like, just for the love of God. I know you want to rip his head off. And then I got Johnny, as I'm finally calming him down. He goes, I don't see like what the big deal is. He's like, I was going to talk to you about it. And Brianna starts freaking out, and I'm looking at him like, Johnny, just shut the fuck up. Yeah. I'm like, I almost had him.
Yeah, well.
But,
oh, wow.
It all came together by the time of the reception. But to cap off the story, though, of what makes it funny, which I ended up saying, I was like, that is one ballsy-ass motherfucker. Like, but then again, he didn't intend for it to happen. But the other thing, though, that I did want to say is when I told Joey, I was like, he goes, what's going on with Johnny? And I like kind of broke down the whole situation for him. He busted out laughing. I was like, I thought you'd be upset because it's your wedding day. He goes, that's the best wedding gift God could have gave me. He's like, are you fucking kidding me? He's like, that's hilarious. Johnny's Saudi and he's outside smoking a cig while we're all in here having fun. He goes, this is like Christmas, bro. I was like, hell yeah, he's happy. Fuck it.
It worked out.
And then to cap off, then to fully wrap the story, guess who ended up leaving together and hanging out, and now they're cool?
Who?
Those two girls.
That's funny. Hey, that's usually how it works out when someone just like, well, I didn't know. You did. I didn't know. You didn't. Okay.
We can't be mad at each other. Right. But, so just wanted to start with that. Wedding went great. And then to kick right into another recap, we'll start with music. Wiz Logic show. That was my sixth time seeing Wiz, third time seeing Logic. That was actually my favorite experience there yet, though, at Blossom. Like, in general, my favorite Blossom experience. They made it a lot more easier to pull in. They made getting drinks and merch and food easier.
Because I've been there a few times. Went for Wild 'N Out and for NF, and it was very smooth. Like getting in, getting out. Like,
and is this post-COVID?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, this is post-COVID.
I think over the course of COVID of 2020, I think they were like, all right, now that we got some time,
like, let's figure out.
We hear the complaints, we see the complaints, we see the faces of people trying to leave. Let's fix this shit.
There's still some people that get too drunk too quick, though. That's all.
Yeah, I mean, there's still. It looked like there's some people that just.
Like, are you leaving?
There's some people that just pull up to the lot to just bull and try to hear it from afar.
That's true. Just tailgate.
But yeah, dude, this time we got a nice spot by a tree. I got these two like vodka lemonade like little jugs for like $25 each. So that was cool.
They wax and tax up.
That's why when I looked at her, I was like, "These are the only drinks I'm getting today. Can you please load them up and I'll leave a nice tip?" And she's like, "All right." She loaded. She really loaded her wifey's up. I was like,
"That's clutch." I do appreciate when they do that.
Oh, yeah, I tipped her. I think I tipped her $12.
I'm like, I'm paying $25 for it. I'll go buy a bottle and chug it before I walk in. Like,
I did a little bit. I drank 4 or 5 beers before I got there.
Yeah, that's why depending on that's what I usually do. Is I'll have a drink on the way down.
I mean, I looked at the tall boy. They said the tall boy was like $16.
Yeah,
I was like, get the fuck out of here. I was like, I got beer at the house when I get home.
That's like whole full case, bro.
But no, Wiz Logic show went great. I thought the openers did great. C. Castro just dropped a fire single that he debuted there called Zamarant, I mean. So that was really cool. I think Fred the God did good. He did solid. 24K Golden had that bitch debatably more lit than Logic and Wiz. I didn't realize that he had a lot of fans there that were just like the whole younger, like 18, 19-year-olds. Yeah, I mean, when he came out to Valentino, bro, people came unglued in the lawn. And then by the time it got to that song, Mood, why you always in the mood? Right. I was fucking singing along with the bitch, and I hadn't heard the bitch in months, and I was singing along to it.
That's always good, though. That's a good experience. when the openers or the acts before the main act do a solid, great job.
Scott said fantasy football's boof. We'll get there, but
yeah, Scott.
Yeah, no,
I forgot to take George Kittle out. If that makes you feel better.
Yeah. Wiz though, he did great. He actually he came out second, so Logic came out first. Logic opened it up,
I would expect
and then
that.
Wiz came on, and
Well,
he ended up ending with Taylor Gang again. Yeah, they did some of their songs. Actually, I think they did one of their songs together at our show, but they didn't go too far into that.
I would just been very surprised if Logic came out last.
Logic also had a cold at our show too.
Because I don't. No offense to Logic, I love Logic. I don't think you follow up Wiz's performance though live.
Yeah, I mean, Wiz just has a lot of those anthems like Roll Up.
Yeah,
people going crazy.
The whole
Scott actually, he went to the show in Cincinnati a couple days before the Cleveland one.
That's lit.
Our shows, oddly enough, were a little different. Like we compared like what we heard and shit.
I like when they do that though. I like when they don't just we have 12 songs, that's all we're doing. Like when Drake and Wayne did the battle tour.
And it was the same single songs every fucking night in the same order.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was like, okay, that's cool.
Wanted to talk about the Detroit mixtape hitting DSPs after 10 years. Big Sean's what catapulted him into the industry.
Yeah.
I've been listening to that the past couple days.
That's
a lot of great records on there, bro. 24 Carats of Gold with J. Cole.
He got some shit cleared.
That was like Born Sinner. Oh, yeah, that's the other thing, too. Everything got cleared on there, too. Hearing Young Kendrick on there with 100 was great.
Watch that go platinum.
Oh, yeah. I actually saw that some artists are actually pissed because it's eating into their charting placements because it's like, oh, shit.
Oh, shit. God,
after all these,
eating into all the charts.
Yeah, that's doing really good. Khaled's doing great.
I mean, how could he not with all there's so many bangers on that song.
I really like the one that samples Eddie Murphy, Party All the Time.
Yeah. I honestly,
I like the wretched bitches. Woo woo.
I don't think there's a song I dislike, but there's obviously songs that are all right, top tier, good tier, still high tier.
Yeah,
that's what I mean.
There's none
I
the one
dislike.
with the reggae artists on it and stuff.
From Jamaica?
Yeah.
Actually, shout out Siddiqui.
Like Buju Banton.
Shout out Siddiqui, former coworker I used to work with at Chipotle. Was from Jamaica, and he actually has some shit on Tidal. He has shit on streams.
Now, with what you just said, I'm glad that you mentioned that. With that Detroit's going to be making its statement. Then I'm going to ask you this, and maybe you think otherwise, anyways. But do you think that Big Sean can be a major name in the music industry again, like a major name, like how he had that run with Blessings and shit,
if he
being a top guy?
I don't think he's
because there for a minute he was in the talks with the Coles and the Kendricks and the Drakes.
I don't think he cares to be in I don't think he's in that lane anymore. He's more like how people they get their money in music, yes, and they love music, yeah, but then they can.
I noticed the internet turned on him in 2018 or 2019.
Well, didn't he cheat on
Janine Aiko?
Yeah,
I think so.
Some scandal happened where people turned on him.
Yeah, because the album came out and everybody was
doing
just
fashion and shit and other shit his investments, real estate, whatever. He doesn't have to make money just from music anymore, so he doesn't have to drop the shit. But God bless you.
Thank you.
But with him, Detroit, that's gonna bring him great album, but it's all just his classic greatest hits, and it did better numbers than anybody shit out.
So he's actually doing a I heard his interview on Hot 97, Big Sean's recently. That's why I thought maybe if this works, it could really catapult him back into that light. So he had that album Detroit 2 that came out, and people were like, okay, now we're fucking with this.
Yeah.
And then now to celebrate the 10th anniversary, he's like, I wanted to really push my bust ass to get all that shit cleared and get that out. To where now he wants to tour and have it just be the Detroit tour, where he does the first one right into the second one, and he said that he'll do it in order.
And that could give him the drive and energy to get back into music and drop new shit. But at the but if he wants to, that's where I'm putting it at. Or he just streams off of Detroit album again.
I think that's what he's doing. He's kind of using okay, I'm gonna tour this album with the last album and get back on the road and see if people are fucking with me. Which I think they will. I think,
right. And
for example, if
tour,
I heard that
sure
tour comes through Cleveland, I'll go. I go to check that out. I'd spend money to check that out. I'd go to that show.
Depending on how much. They're like, I'm not
Well,
gonna.
that's
if you're
the
trying
other-
to wax and tax me.
That's
Big
the
Sean,
other thing.
sorry
Where do
about
you
it.
think? Say he's coming to Cleveland. Where would he go? I'd say House of Blues.
I think he could blossom. I think he's coming.
He
with
can
somebody.
sell. He can sell tickets to Boston. Oh yeah, I guess like who he's coming to, like who he's coming with.
I don't think he's coming solo. And I still
No.
think like he has a big enough.
I'll
think-
tell you
I
a
think
show
he'd
that I
still
really
do
love to see.
Blossom,
If he's
'cause then
coming to
you can-
Blossom, send him with Meek Mill.
But you could do if he does Blossom or something, you can make the lawn seats 30 a pop, and everybody, you know what I mean?
They'll be like, I want to
and
go listen
you
to
could-
ass.
like, or you know what, or the Detroit, you know what I mean? Like, but and then
Oh yeah.
you could, if the upper seats don't sell like how they were supposed to, you can move people up so it's still filled, but you have the price ranges still like, all right, these upper ones, front row 200, this main section 150, this one's 100, and then
It'd
lawn
be fun to see
30 to 50. Because I mean, I'd go see him just to see him perform.
You know a good show that would make sense for Blossom?
Because like
If
that's where I'm
Big
at
Sean
now for
headlined, but
concerts.
Metro Boomin did like the DJ set and played all of his production.
That's where I'm at like for concerts. Though, is like who I want to see before, who I would want to see perform. Not just even if I like their music, but like, all right, just so I'd be like, I definitely saw them perform before they stopped. Because there's regrets I have for didn't go to 2 Mac shows.
Yeah. I botched.
Didn't go to the first Kendrick show with you with 16 people.
Yeah.
And like I literally shout out Vince McMichael showed me Kendrick before anybody knew about him, and I was like, God damn! Like, there was 20 people at that show.
Yeah.
Like,
There's a soul sleep. Fortunately.
and now like you can't even get a ticket for under $100.
Depending where, yeah.
You know what I mean? So I was just like, damn. So now it's like, if Eminem ever went on tour, I'd definitely, no matter what, even if the closest show is Detroit going,
Yeah, that'd be like Ford Field.
I'd have to. Like, have to. I'm good. But that's why I went to the Wiz and Snoop, because it was like, all right, got to see Snoop perform.
Hell yeah.
Like,
That was a great one.
oh yeah, that was.
Them doing push-ups on stage. So yeah, you know, at the end of the day, though, I wish the best for Big Sean. I'm excited to see where he's kind of going now in this latter half of his career. Do I think he can be a major name again? I think, kind of like you said, the time will
Possibly.
tell. I'd say it can happen, though. It can happen.
I think with Detroit though coming to streaming, it'll take the sour taste out of people's mouth.
People will be like,
Like,
"Oh, wait a minute, we
remembering,
fucked with
yeah,
this,"
yeah.
like, because that was the shit that
Yeah.
really got him on.
But yeah, kind of get them over.
Well, yeah, because everybody, like, at the time, if you remember right before that tape drop, it was all, oh, he's the ass rapper. You know, he has that song with Nicki Minaj, ass, 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 ass. And he was, hold on, y'all, I can fucking rap.
yeah, like don't
Like,
forget.
yeah, like, hold the fuck on.
I did that. Just
Like,
for,
yeah.
that was for the radio, like make money, and for the clubs. Like, hold on, if you guys want lyrics, we could do that.
Yeah. And I've always felt that he is underappreciated for that. Like, he really do, like, especially on that Blessings album. That man was spitting. That man
yeah,
was spitting.
He's definitely under
That Paradise outro, oh my God. However, though, another person I wanted to ask you about. What the fuck happened to Ferg?
I don't know. That's a good question.
I thought about it the other day at work
Damn, yeah.
because Cocaine Castle came on. And I was like, oh, ASAP Ferg. And then I was like,
Wait a minute.
hold on, when did he drop music? And I went and I looked, and he hasn't dropped
No.
music in so long. And I feel like it got overshadowed by,
Well,
like, oh, everybody's waiting for Frank. Everybody's waiting for Kendrick. Everybody's waiting for this
it's
one.
not
that
even,
one.
but like, I mean, ASAP's now fathered, or ASAP Rocky is now was having a baby with Rihanna, or whatever, in his little scandals in London or whatever it was over in Europe, Sweden. Thank you. Yeah, so I'm not saying like ASAP Ferg only will make music.
I mean, it's only
with
been
people in the studio with him, like certain people, but like
now.
it could hinder his vibes and. His,
I asked this question to Scott
creativity.
yesterday, and I'm going to ask you the same question.
maybe
I don't know
I-
if there's a correlation to it, but I wonder. So ASAP Ferg dropped a single, and it looked like he put a lot into it. Video, all that. It was called Move Your Hips. It was made in Tokyo, right around the time Uber Everywhere was hot, and Nicki Minaj, and it flopped.
I think I remember that.
Didn't
yeah.
do too well.
Yeah.
And then I wonder, did that like almost like he popped out and dropped it and was just kind of like, all right, it's fuck me then, all right. Then
like I could see that because like kind of like we were saying with Big Sean, like when people get or artists, musicians like get rich and wealthy off of music, they don't have to stay with music just for
and
money.
Like my thing too with the ASAP mob is they definitely aren't handling it like Dreamville and like TDE are, where they try to, like, yes, okay, we got our Kendrick, we got our J. Cole, but now let's bring up Schoolboy Q's, JID's, like Earth Gangs, Ab Souls, like, where I feel like Ferg, like, yeah, he had that great run with Work and then Plain Jane, and then it was like,
well, I think
nothing. I mean, they had the Cozy tapes.
The death of Yams did a lot to them.
Yes, that fucked them up.
I think fucked them up. The whole crew
that's like the death of Steez in Pro Era.
It was like the death of Proof.
Yeah, that so like for Eminem, it was one of those deaths where like, he was the glue of the group, and bam.
It just shook everybody too much to recover back.
I mean, Rocky even said that, like, right when Yams first passed, he was like, I hate to say it, he's like, it's not like, he goes, we were mourning our friend, but he goes, at the same time, we were like, what the fuck do we do now?
Yeah.
Like, oh shit, that guy coordinated and managed all of us. Like, damn.
Like, yeah. So, like, you know what I mean? So, like, there's a lot of things that, like, they might not want to make music anymore because, like, when they do go to a studio, it's like, well, man, I only think of Yams. Or they, you know what I mean? Or
that's why he's still honored all the time.
Yeah, right, exactly. So it's like, we can't go to the studio and not think of Yams. So I'll go do fashion.
Yams with the best Twitter account of all time. His fucking tweets, man. Oh my God. Sometimes I still go back and read them bitches.
R.I.P. Yams.
Nothing's worse than when you leave a pint of lean on the top of your car and drive off at the gas station. I'm like, damn, this.
It was like a Lil Wayne did an interview and like.
Oh yeah, when I kicked the cup,
he was like, "Oh, no, that's the biggest
part." There you go. That's the biggest party foul.
No,
yeah, he kicks it. Oh my God.
He like really.
And like I love the innocent little interviewer when she goes, "Oh no,
it's okay. Oh no, that's the biggest mess up I could have did."
Like $400 just spilled onto the floor.
That shit was gonna get him through the interview.
Yeah, and he just realized it. So he's like, "There goes the drink."
Like hopefully somebody on my team saw that and get me another one.
So to tie in then with what we just said with the long waits, short waits. How do you feel about long waits versus short waits in music? What do you prefer? How do you feel about it?
I prefer take however long you need to give us good.
So you're saying you can take 5 years as long as you give us a quality project through no misses.
Because I'm not trying to hear people just
something I can listen to
oversaturate shit. Like, oh well, this type of shit's going hot right now, so I could do it, but it's not really my style. Like, no, don't do that shit. Like, take your time. Get your shit together, like, then drop.
Now, I only have an argument.
There's also people like Kendrick who like don't drop on purpose.
Now, I think though too, where like Conway the Machine and like Griselda, like Benny the Butcher and West Side Gun, especially Benny and Conway though. Well, I think they drop music a lot, and it's always quality. Like they just dropped that Long Live DJ Shay Black Soprano Family, and that album is fucking dope. But I do feel like the bigger artists can't get away with that.
I was gonna say they're also like
because they're gonna be
under
a bigger spot,
not underappreciated in a way, but like not as in that. Not in the same tier. Like I don't know how I want to say it.
Where I know what you mean. Like they're not in a big enough spotlight to where maybe there is a big population of people that don't fuck with it.
Right.
Where if Kendrick comes out, there's people that are automatically off rip, even without listening to it, gonna be like, fuck this thing.
Exactly. Like so they're still doing
1201. They're dropping trash bins.
When you're constantly releasing good music, you're in it for the music. Like
and like Griselda kind of has the cult too. Like they would really have to bomb for us to not like it.
But like that's their main focus and main lane in life. Not like how Kendrick he's doing a lot of fashion, a lot of performances. Like not just performances, but not just concerts, actual performances.
He was doing pull-ups in Kenya.
That's what it was like. So like he what's the word, like choreographs his shows very methodically. So like he has to go to practice training for all this, like just for one show,
Yeah.
a pop-up show for a fashion week. Oh, okay. But you can't drop an album in 6 years? God damn it.
Yeah. Well, I mean, that's
But
how I
see
feel
why,
about.
because he's now focused on doing this. Like you see, like some,
And I've noticed too, like some artists. I want to kind of look at it like this and use this guy as an example. Frank Ocean. Like, yeah, he doesn't drop for fucking nothing. Singles are a rarity. Albums are even more scarce. But at the same time, I find myself revisiting Channel Orange and Blonde all the time. I think they're definitely classics. So it's like,
yeah. And
some
I
artists, I
think
guess,
that's
like that. Like, if you're gonna do it, it makes the album breathe longer.
But I also feel like that's like kind of what separates like Kendrick's, the Frank Oceans from Benny the Butcher's, because I'm like my fans and people like not even my fans will like have to go back and like still listen to my old shit because it's still that good. It's timeless. Like I could go back and listen to Section 80, like ADHD, like all over again, like from Kendrick, and not even care about Damn. And then you put on Damn, you're like, oh shit.
Yeah. Oh, this is great.
Oh, okay. Like, oh shit.
Aaron Rodgers just fumbled the ball,
And he's hurt.
and he's looking hurt.
It did not look.
But yeah, and like, you know, I think about how Earl Sweatshirt made us wait all that fucking time in between I Don't Like Shit, I Don't Go Outside and some rap songs. And that was one of those cases though where when it came out, it was like, now it's a totally different sound, and it's like, oh shit, okay, now I have to like get into this. Like, it sounds way different.
And that's where like I feel it have like maybe released some in between to like get his fans like, oh,
Let us know what he's doing.
We're kind of going to a
like
new
when Gambino
style.
was gonna drop "Awaken My Love," he dropped Redbone, and you're like, okay,
So you're not
now
just
I know what to
completely
go and
thrown off by a whole new flow, a whole new style. Or something.
yeah, like whole new
he's
sounding
kinda testing something
production.
out.
Yeah,
Like MGK did. Like he put on, he had Black Flag, to be fair, album way back when, but like there on General Admission, there was like songs that were like kind of like where he was singing rather than rapping.
I mean, to show you the contrast of the Earl thing, he went from Tyler production and Pharrell production to his own shit, Max production, and Alchemist, and it was like, whoa, that's
Whole different.
yeah, that's like a whole different.
And he
vibe.
didn't even ease us into it. So like MGK like kind of showed
It
his,
felt like a Rip Band-Aid when I was listening to the album. It took a couple listens before I was like, okay, I'm fucking.
like MGK didn't go from like 100
and he still gave us like,
yeah,
Bloody
he didn't go
Valentine.
from Lace Up to what's the last one?
Mainstream Sellout.
Yeah, he didn't go from like 100 Words of Run and Lace Up to Mainstream Sellout flow. He had everything in between, from Black Flag to General Admission to Bloom to
Yeah, and I'll never
Bloody
forget
Valentine.
Gambino's Breakfast Club interview where they kind of were like talking about the single Redbone, and they were like, oh, like this is definitely a standout track, like this is something different, like, and Charlemagne's like, oh, I'm sure you got more like, rap records on the album. Gambino said, I wouldn't bank on that.
right,
And when the album came out, there wasn't a single one. It was like, oh shit.
but like at least he let people know, like don't. There's a chance that
I'm not rapping on this one. And I think that that's his best album. I love that album. I think that's a classic. And I love the way that he drops music now. It's just like he makes the shit for fun. Like that last album was like 12 tracks with just dates and times on for when he made the fucking song. So you can tell he's just having fun.
That's where like,
and like I think
those
they
ones
asked
are
him.
always timeless,
They asked him
usually.
on like the Emmys red carpet, like like is it hard to focus on everything? He goes, I just do one at a time. He goes, I do my movies. I direct my show, I do Atlanta, and then he goes, then I do music.
That's what I mean.
One at a
Like,
time.
I'm not trying to rush artists, but do that though. Take your time.
Yeah, we wouldn't want him to do all three things at
Right.
once, and now we got 3 shitty products.
Exactly.
Like put all
So,
of his fucking time into one, and then go, okay, I did
So
this.
if
Now
you're
I
taking
can...
5-6 years in between an album, cool. It's because you're giving your all to your movie first, and then okay, cool.
And you got an Emmy-winning show.
Yeah, I'm
like...
okay with that. Rather than putting out 3 albums and they all flopping.
He did say though that to free up time, he is doing the series finale after this season. So this is the last season. This will be the 5th and last season.
Oh yeah, I mean, I'm sure it's hard as hell.
Directing, writing, and starring in the show. Yeah.
Not even that, but like, well, yes, that, but like, after what season is this gonna be?
5.
So like, you gotta keep that story entertaining and
The characters
intriguing
developing.
and
which they've
plot
done great
twists. So it's like that's a lot of stress and time. Like, ugh.
Then like, yeah, now we need you in the Star Wars universe again. He's like, fuck. And like,
They're paying a lot.
Yeah. He's like, I can't fuck up the Star Wars bag.
Hey, where's his where's he on? Which
he plays Lando.
No, I'm saying his show.
He's gonna be on The Mandalorian. No. Oh, the Atlanta.
Yeah.
That's Hulu, yeah.
So he's like,
Hulu
Hulu,
and
I know you gave me a great check, but that Star Wars check a lot bigger than this Hulu check.
They paired with Disney. I'm seeing way more figures than
this is season finale, dog. You ain't see the check they sent me.
And then somebody's like, hey, what are you dropping a song? He's like, a song? I haven't heard music in a month.
I've been writing for 17 days straight. I have to get to Disney in 2 months. We got a deadline here, boys.
I heard my song on the radio. I forgot I released music before. Fuck, I made the Sweatpants song? I guess I did.
I guess we could try that again.
Yeah, that man hasn't toured in like years.
Well, look at all the shit
he popped out at the Governor's Ball like last year, though, and did Redbone and a couple of things. It was so funny. He started 3005. He's like, all right, y'all. He's like, please help me out. I got to see if I remember these words. And like the crowd's just like, oh, shit. All right. Like, let's help him
You've really
out.
been busy, huh? You've been
He probably popped out at the Governor's Ball. He's like, fuck, guys. I haven't done this
I didn't
in
even
like
play my
5 years.
songs on the way here.
Yeah, like, hold on.
I listened to 3 of them. Like, fuck.
You like see him finally get it by the hook and he's ecstatic. He's like, yeah, I remember it. Like losing his shit.
And then it's over.
Oh, God. That's another bag that he probably saw, though, and was like, damn, I forgot what these look like. Just went out there, did a couple of songs.
Oh, 6 figures?
Yeah.
Oh, damn.
Shit.
All right.
And then to lastly cover just a few of the new drops that came out, just to talk about them briefly. I heard them, not too impressed by them, but we will talk about them. New Nav project, Demons Protected by Angels. He sounds like a bagel. He's bland.
I gave it like 2 songs, I ain't gonna lie.
Yeah, it's bland. I mean, I do like the record with Lil Baby and Travis Scott, for what that's worth. I like that one, and I like this other one by himself.
You like Lil Baby and Travis Scott's verses.
Yeah.
You don't like the song, you like their verses.
That's fair. I think Travis killed it on the hook, and Lil Baby...
Because, like, there's a difference between...
Talking about how he stood down the meat for the streets.
The only reason... If those were 2 different artists singing those, you probably wouldn't like... Even if they're the same song, like same words.
Or if Nav did it.
Yeah, it wouldn't be like.
I did think his standalone track "Loaded" was pretty cool because like he addressed how pretty much like he knows that like he's never gonna be looked at as like in that Atlanta light and shit, but like he's still just trying to have fun and live his life basically and get loaded.
I respect that. Keep grinding. You never know, but like.
He did say some bullshit, though, I saw in a clip of an interview. At least I think it's some bullshit.
Can't come from Atlanta sound like
So tell me if you think this sounds like bullshit. So he said in an interview, they were like, oh, do you want to work with some of your fellow Toronto, like your Toronto guys and stuff? He's like, well, I've done work with Tory. And he's like, and I did a song. I have a record with Drake, but I didn't want to put it on the album to overshadow the album. I don't know. It kind of sounded like bullshit to me.
Yeah.
If I got a Drake record and I want my album to sell well, I am putting it on the track list.
That's how you get. That's where you boom.
He said, "Oh, I don't want it to overshadow the album." That's not going to overshadow the album. If somebody looks and sees you have a Drake feature, that's a major.
Yeah, I feel like that. Yeah, I don't want to call it bullshit, but
I'm calling bullshit.
Yeah, I'm calling.
He don't got no fucking Drake record in that.
Drake's too big to call the bullshit. Like call him out for it. Drake's
and like, imagine how much you would have had to pay for that.
But Drake's not going to take the time to shut that down.
And you're going to pay all that money just to say, hey, I'm not leaving it on the album.
Maybe he drops a Drake album or Drake.
If he drops it as a single
album,
or he just drops it as a single, I don't know.
Maybe.
But either way, I think it's bullshit.
The
new Yeet album. I know Yeet's an internet sensation with these young kids.
I haven't looked at it.
I saw you had a Newsy feature on there. I checked it out. Not much I can say about it. It's not my cup of tea.
I didn't check it out, so I'm not gonna speak on it.
Yeah, it's not my cup of tea. It's probably just not for me. I know he's an internet sensation.
Hey,
I
keep
don't want to
grinding,
turn the young kids on us. Yeah, he's got his crowd, and that's cool, but not for me. Ari Lennox, though, I think dropped the greatest project of the weekend.
Okay.
Age, Sex, Location.
That's
I'll have
to check that one out.
Yeah, there's some bops on there. I think Pressure is a really great record. I heard a viral tweet a couple weeks ago. People were talking about how R&B is dead. No, it is not.
No.
Ari Lennox just dropped a phenomenal record. Go check that out.
Just go number one.
Yeah, well, honestly, never mind. Even though I guess you can debate that being dance, I don't know.
Isn't that?
It walks a fine line.
R&B.
Rhythm and blues. I know.
Oh,
People forgot that that's what R&B stands for.
Wow.
But
I guess I'm too old.
But is there anything music-wise you wanted to talk about before we move on? Anything we forgot about? Anything you guys want to throw out?
Shout out Eminem going number one again.
Oh, with Use This Gospel on God Did?
Yeah, him and what was he? Kanye?
Yeah, because it was actually a remix from the record that was originally done with Clips on Jesus is King.
Shout out that and how Game says nobody.
And DJ Khaled, I will say
how
this.
people say no one listens to Eminem, but this man going number one.
Yeah.
Hey. People lie, numbers don't.
First beer of the day. First freedom of the day.
He's like freedom.
But yeah, no, I thought God Did was great. No matter what people say about DJ Khaled, I think you stand with me on this. You can say whatever you want about DJ Khaled, and I'd say I want to see your phone library because I bet there's at least 10 records with him in that bitch.
Yeah. That you didn't even know he produced or was on the backside of it.
And people can say what you want about him, but that man is a curator of taste.
An icon.
Yeah, he's a legend. He's an icon. Yeah. I saw DJ Drama. Okay, we'll talk about this real quick. I saw DJ Drama wants to do a versus with DJ Khaled. And as much as I love the Gates of Girls and I love Drama,
God Did and probably win.
I mean, my shit too is like if he gets back into the We Take It Over.
That's what I mean. Is like people
feed
realize
me rappers and feed me
been
beats.
Around, what since 90s?
Late 90s. Yeah, is when he started. No one believed.
God did.
But God did.
Like the song with just his kids saying God did will do better numbers than some people's fucking albums.
I have it in my library.
That's an honest statement. Like that song will do better numbers than some people's albums. Because it's great. It's 45 seconds.
It's awesome.
One play. There's a stream.
I will say though, I wish that Drake intro had a little bit more meat on its bones. Because it was only about a minute long, and I feel like I love that cadence he was going with. And then because I was playing Gears when I first heard it, and then as soon as it cut, I was
think
like,
it was a teaser for something.
I was like, did it skip?
I think it's a teaser for something.
Like for a future thing.
I think it's I think Drake's gonna be dropping another or something soon.
So movies, TV. I actually am a little behind on some of the stuff that came on at the theaters.
All right.
However, though,
me too. But I watched Jurassic World Dominion finally.
I did too,
and
I saw that on Peacock.
Yeah, me too. Because I heard a lot of bad reviews, so I wasn't going to the theater about it. It did better than my expectations.
Same. I actually am glad that you guys dogged the piss out of it.
Yeah, I liked it. Because it gave background information and tied things together and tied in some loose ends from old movies to new movies.
Yeah, getting to see those two finally. I'll tell you the moment that I thought was really great in that movie when his name's Dr. Sam Hunt, right? Or Sam? Is it Sam? The old guy that they brought back from the original. But you know who I'm talking about.
Yes.
Okay. So that scene with him and the woman and she's like, oh, I didn't want to come disturb you. You're all happy now and stuff.
He's like, I'm not happy.
Yeah, and he goes, who said that? And he's like, whoa. He goes, I'm not happy. He goes, I've been secluding myself, and everything. And that's when, towards the end of the movie, they kind of, because he's like, oh, well, how's John doing? And she's like, yeah, we're no longer together. And he kind of gives that little twinkle in his eye, oh, I'm back in this bitch. And then he goes, I wanted this pussy for 30 years.
And it all ties in or whatever when they get to the helicopter. She's like, come with me. He's like, this is the happiest I've been.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? He was like, I'm not going back. When she offered, he's like, all right, well, are you going to go back to your day? He's like, I'm not going back. This is the happiest I've been in 30 years.
Yeah.
Shout out that. But I liked it much better than the reviews and
Yeah.
people did. I liked it.
I saw even the critics' reviews on there was at like a 28%.
Like
I don't know what people go into that movie thinking they're gonna see.
Like, because honestly, I liked
It's a
it
bunch of
more.
dinosaurs.
I liked it more than the last movie where they just killed off
I
a
agree.
whole island of dinosaurs. At the end.
Yeah, it was
And
like, damn.
just made us watch literally dinosaurs falling to their death. And
Yeah.
I was like, that's fucked up. Like, I was like, well, that.
I like how they had it like incorporated, like if it was real life too. Like people are illegally selling dinosaurs.
I did, yeah, right. And that's a black market. That's a thing. Like,
yeah, I thought that was.
Cool. I liked it.
I saw 2 movies came out at the theaters. One of them though is on streaming. I might check it out tonight. Actually, Beast with Idris Elba, where it looks like him and his family are doing. The vibe I get from it is, and I could be wrong. Again, I'm just going off the one trailer I saw like a week or 2 ago. That it looks
I love
like
Idris Elba though, so
yeah.
What's it streaming
on? Netflix, okay. HBO. Okay. And I saw that the thing with it, like the plot, from what I got, looks like they're on like this African, like almost like an Amazon safari tour thing
through some jungle or safari guide thing. Like.
And the guide is like a rook and gets completely fucking lost. Oh, and it's nighttime. And they don't know their way back, and now it's turned into like the car ran out of fuel. They're on foot. Predators are out left and right at night, and this massive lion.
We're the prey. Okay, that's.
And it shows them trying to do like a survival game.
I love Idris. So
and he got to act with his. Hope I don't fuck this up. Daughter, niece, something. Family member is in the car with him as a predominant character. Okay. So. I think that's pretty cool. I'm sure that felt great on set to be like, oh hell yeah.
Now that does hinder my possible expectation of the movie though.
How so?
Because I'm not saying he or she, if it was niece, it was a woman.
It's a girl. Yeah.
Okay. I don't know if I'm not saying she's a poor actress at all, but if it's on Netflix, he has money to. Well, if you want me. You gotta give her a shot. Yeah,
like I'll sign on, but you gotta.
Yeah, so I'm not. So like usually with Idris Elba movies, like I'm not saying he would. He could be selective. He's Idris Elba, so
yeah. Like
usually the plots are.
He can be
no
like,
matter what, if you
Bond
tell me Idris Elba's in it, I'm like, oh, okay, the plot's gonna be solid. But now that's a little bit of a factor where like. That's a little factor where it's like, well, okay, I'm not discrediting it, but. It could have been in his contract where it was like, I'm trying to get her name into Hollywood too.
Yeah. Like trying to make her.
Yes. And I'm not saying she's a poor actress by any means.
Which I'm glad.
I'll give her the fair.
I actually like to see when people do that and like use that.
I do too. Because why not spread the wealth? Like, rather, you know what
like,
I mean?
Dude, William Dafoe got Tobey Maguire the Spider-Man job.
Yeah. Because
he was like, look, because like they didn't know who quite was going to be it yet. At one point, they even thought Owen Wilson.
Yeah, I remember that.
In the span of that, William Dafoe, he loves going to plays. And he saw this one play, and he said, I went right to the back, and he said, without even consulting the director or anything, he goes, you're our guy. He goes, how would you love to play Spider-Man? He's like, that'd be great.
Yeah, I remember
he goes, how am I going to do that? He's like, just give me a couple days, give me your phone number, I'm going to call you back. He goes, trust me on this. Yeah. Toby, he goes, I didn't think much of it. And he goes, sure shit. About 3 days later, he got the call. He goes, come audition for the Spider-Man. Yeah.
I remember, because I remember reading, about the Owen Wilson thing, I don't know, 10 years ago when I was 12, 13, whatever.
When they revealed that was who they
were. And I would have been that would have been so bad.
It would have been, too.
Because I love Toby.
It would have been.
Toby, I love
as much as I love Owen Wilson, I wouldn't have been able to take Spider-Man serious. Yeah. You almost needed that fresh face that you've never seen before.
Yeah, because I love Tom Holland.
And imagine those people that went to those cheap little plays.
Yeah, Toby is the truth.
Imagine those people that went to those plays, though, like a year before. They were like, what the hell? That guy was just Romeo last year.
Imagine being, the person that, beat him out for a role, in one play, and, he beat you out. And then, you were about to beat him out or whatever. And then, or, he was winning the role. And then, he gets called for Spider-Man. It's like, oh, I'm better than him.
It's like a pity win.
Yeah, I'm better than him now. And then you realize he's in Spider-Man.
Yeah, he shows up day of. He's like, oh, I'm so glad that you went with me and not that other guy. Well,
he's actually Spider-Man.
I don't know what you're doing in July, but
go check the
Spider-Man. He was like, oh, damn.
And then what? It became this American sensation?
Yeah, I think it was #1 for probably buku weeks or whatever.
I'll have to check that. I'll check out Beast, though, because I like...
Yeah, so that's one of the 2 movies I wanted to mention. I thought that looked good. And then I just saw this trailer the other day. I didn't even know about it until I saw the trailer on TV. I was just like, holy shit, this looks really good.
Okay.
It's called Barbarian. It's supposedly like this really gritty, kind of gory horror movie.
Okay.
And it looks pretty good. And like the whole theme of that is, now that's kind of hard to get anything out of the trailer.
But I like those
they didn't
trailers,
really seem to give you much. Yeah.
I like those trailers, though, where it's enough to get me enticed.
Yeah, it kind of gives a vibe of like 10 people in a cabin for a weekend, and one of them has killer, like he wants to kill
serial killer.
Yeah, he wants to kill some people
Yeah.
now. So like it kind of
Gets a
gives
little
that
urge.
vibe. Yeah. And like they kind of do this thing in the trailer where the way they show each of the 10 faces, it's like, oh fuck, it could be any of them.
Oh, I like
it.
that
It
too.
could be any of them. Like it doesn't look like anybody's in the clear.
Innocent. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's awesome. That's I like that. We need a new good.
And it looks like a fresh take on something.
Yeah, that's what I was about to say. We
like
need
even
another,
Beast looks like a fresh take on something.
because like Cabin in the Woods, when that first came out, like
Great movie.
then there's like 7 other movies just like it.
That tried to copy it and
Yeah.
just couldn't do it.
And like they all like had their own different takes in it, or like, you know what I mean? But like it was all like based off of this plot. Like, oh, we all go here, and then things bad happen.
Yeah.
Like, and then we all try to escape, and we all have to
We reading shit in the
Right.
house that sounds like some weird spooky holy text.
Yeah.
Like,
But
oh no, I just accidentally cursed myself because I read the Latin.
when that,
Like,
that says don't read me in English underneath. Like don't
and like
open
just the way they
chest.
did
It
Cabin
says
in the
don't
Woods.
open the chest in English, which is locked and everything. But I opened it anyway.
I have an impressive stat and fact about Cabin in the Woods too, and I'll forever give this to I'll give the props to that movie. And I think you remember this too. Out of all of the years since I've had that movie, Cabin in the Woods, it is the most selected movie out of that whole collection. Whenever I ask somebody like, "Hey, what do you want to watch?"
It's because it's
Like one of the first times my wife was over here,
it's a
I
classic.
pick a movie, any movie, and she goes, "Cabin in the Woods." She's like, "I've heard of it, I've never seen it." And I was
Yeah.
like, "Here we go, throw it in.
Yeah, it's a good
Here
movie.
we go."
It's because it's what like it's the original for everything that's now.
And like just like the humor in that movie, like when the stoner locks the car while reaching his hand in to lock it, and he goes, what? He goes, "You didn't think I'd forget to bring my coffee?" I'm like, "Yeah, I'm not an idiot." Yeah, he goes, "Is that thing just used for coffee?" No. He goes, "Is that coming in my car?" Yes.
Let's go.
He's just like, ah.
I forget what other movies I watched recently. I really haven't been able to watch movies recently. Been too busy.
Watched. Like really fully watched, not just do my bullshit where I put it on in the background. I watched a movie with Halle Berry and that dude from Conjuring.
No idea.
It's called Moonfall. Disaster movie. So it's pretty much like this monster creature on the moon is eating the inside of its core and making it like sink into the universe. I was really surprised that Halle Berry would do a movie like this.
This
Same with
sounds
the
so
person from
stupid.
Conjuring. It's what it was. I had it on in the background. I paid attention towards the end.
Yeah, we don't have to talk about it.
Yeah, long story short, it is what it is. Moon falls into the earth. If you're a fan of disaster movies, you can watch the moon fall into the earth.
bag.
I did watch something though recently that I really do want you to check out and really strongly recommend and suggest. It's on Netflix.
Huh.
Have you heard of those like Untold documentaries on there yet?
Yeah.
They're called Untold.
Yeah.
Well, they just put out one called Operation Flagrant Foul,
Okay.
and it's about the ref scandal with like Tim Donaghy in like 2007 when he was fixing games by calling pop fouls and he would have them determined within 6 points. And like they show like a couple of times where the players like got it exposed, and Allen Iverson was actually one of the ones that was responsible because they started calling like they couldn't get him to like get out of the game basically.
Yep.
And he wasn't fouling. Like basically the way Tim explained it was we could never get him because he was being so cautious. It was like he wanted us to slip up.
Mm-hmm.
And he was taking it to the rack and they called palming violation. And when they called a palming violation, because he like went like that for a second to like kind of like just like went like that just for a second as he was heading towards the basket. But no one was like that close to him. So they called it a palming violation.
Wow.
No hesitation. He looked right over at the coach. Coach is hot. Carlisle's hot. He's coming up the fucking court. He goes, bullshit. And the coach, like, immediately, he's like, no, like, you're good. Don't worry about it. And just starts going off, like, what the fuck are you doing? And AI's just looking over there with the players, like, I know that's bullshit. Like, and it was after that game.
Everybody in the league
somebody
now
came up,
does a fake pass or something on
somebody,
their way to the basket.
and he just kept calling bullshit. Like, he called a couple travels on him in the night.
Yeah.
He called a flagrant. They called it Operation Flagrant Foul because one of the fouls they called flagrant on was some guy comes in. I forget what the last name was, but anyways, he comes in and fucking bow and just like comes right down into him. But Allen moved his shoulder a little bit, and they called that an offensive foul, flagrant 1.
Wow.
And he's over here like, what? And then that's when, like, but like the way they tell it in the documentary was at that point where he was like,
okay,
all right,
we're gonna set you all
something
up.
else is going on.
Yeah,
here. Like something else is going on.
That's when he started setting.
Like, yeah.
He's like, all right, let's get this on film.
Yeah, well, and as soon as Tim said he got to the back, the boss, like the manager of like the whole refs union and committee, he was like, "We're gonna review this tape." He goes, "I want to let you know if this comes up." He goes that you made some bad calls that were deliberate in this game. He goes, "When we investigated," he goes, "You just reffed your last NBA game.
Yeah.
Go home." And when they investigated it, he said on like day 3, he goes, "I was shaking in my boots." He's like, "I finally got the call," and they're like, "We investigated the tape. We want you to come in." That's what I'll leave everybody with. That's right there. And then you get to see how it was like a whole pipeline of bullshit that links all the way back to the fucking mafia.
Yep.
Right.
Yeah. Italian.
And he used to do it by he would dictate it with fouls. But he got too slippery with it. Like, last thing I will say is like one of the people like that they cut to was like, oh, like they knew about it. And they're like, dude, they're like, you're making it so obvious.
Yeah, you're making
like,
it
stop.
too...
Yeah.
Yeah. That's how games can be altered. Like, quick. Like if someone like a player like Kobe gets 2 quick fouls in the first quarter off of possible bullshits like that, but now he has to get on the bench. Still.
Yeah, they're calling traveling on the tip off with
like,
Allen Iverson. He's just like, what the hell?
Yeah.
But like you said, by the time it got to that flagrant, he's like, all right.
Yeah,
something's going on. Yeah,
they're
plotting
right. On them.
Yeah.
Like, all right, you guys are plotting on me. I'm gonna plot right back on you guys.
And then got him to slip.
We'll see you in 20 years. I'm gonna get paid. I bet AI got. I'm sure he got paid with hefty.
They said that, which this is part of it. There was a playoff game that got reviewed that he ended up having like a deciding call in a game 7. And they had to break it to the Utah Jazz, and the Utah Jazz, they said, like, when we told them, he said, we thought that they were going to be devastated. He said it went the other way. They were furious. Like, they were furious, even though it was months later.
Yeah.
They're like, what do you mean the game was fixed? And they're like, oh, well, the refs made bad calls
on purpose.
They're like,
what?
So
we
and
the
coach made a great point. He goes, to this day, he goes, I try not to hold grudges. He goes, that one I hold. He goes, you don't understand. He goes, we had that. He goes, we were that close.
And the thing is, like,
it was game 7.
You don't like when you guys like if you're the winners, like whatever, and you get told like, all right, yeah, those games were fixed. Like now you don't even feel like you even beat the people.
Yeah, now you're just like, well, damn,
like,
man.
As a competitor,
I felt good about that win.
Exactly.
Like,
as a competitor, now you're like, well, would AI beat? Now that's the thing is like now I'll never know. As a competitor.
Yeah,
I'll never know.
Like
can't
now
go
that
back
he was
and
getting
play
fucked
AI
all
by
night.
time.
Yeah, I mean he's literally battling the refs at one point. Like,
would he have put up 50 and beat us in Game 6? Like, damn, I don't know. We don't know, but they helped us win Game 6. Like, so like that's where like I'm sure that hurts too. As like obviously not much AI. And
I thought it was really cool too to see the coach was on his side. Like coach kind of gave him like the thumbs up. Like, oh, I know it's not you.
Oh,
like, he probably even said something to him about it at halftime. Like, you see what's going on out there, coach? They're
like,
calling everything.
Literally. Like, nothing, like, as a player, there's only so much you can do. Like, I remember AI used to sometimes play with his hands behind his back. So they couldn't call reaching. What do you mean? My hands are back. My hands are behind my back. You can't call reaching foul if my hands are at my side.
He was traumatized after some of that shit.
Like, it's just wild. Just things like, yeah. Shout out to Mafias.
Another movie that I saw hit Disney Plus that I think I might end up checking out tonight
That
if
was
my wife
George.
wants to watch it.
Cool.
Pinocchio's out. Live action Pinocchio with
Yeah,
Tom
I've seen
Hanks.
I
Looks
gotta
good.
check that out.
Might actually make me give a fuck about Pinocchio.
Yeah, I love Pinocchio back then.
Really?
I did. All right, loved. It was a good film.
He has a cool ride in Disney World. Magic Kingdom.
All right. It was a good film. Like as
His
a kid,
nose
I
is long as
liked
fuck.
it as a kid. I'm not gonna say loved it, but I liked it as a kid.
Yeah, that Pinocchio at the Disney park, though, that motherfucker be lying. That nose is fucking wrapped around the motherfucking thing. Like, they had that Pinocchio fucking.
Yeah, makes your sins.
Yeah, that dude, he needs confession in
Yeah.
fucking Magic Kingdom.
Hey, but yeah, I was impressed. I watched Mulan not too long, like a month or two ago.
I can't get into it. I tried.
Yeah, live
tried.
action. It was alright.
Can't get into it.
It wasn't. I liked it. It wasn't horrible. I liked the original cartoon better. But I'll check out Pinocchio.
Yeah, you know, I'll give it a look.
Yeah.
I saw that Lady and the Tramp a couple years ago, live action.
Huh.
I'm amazed that they got those dogs to do half those things.
Yeah.
That was pretty tight.
Good luck doing that. Yeah.
They looked like they groomed those dogs every second of the day that they weren't on film too.
Oh, probably.
Like every single second.
They had a treat in their hand for every 4 seconds they were on film.
Yeah.
Like, sit.
There was another one of those live actions though that I didn't like. Okay, there was a couple of them. There was Tarzan. Thought that one was there.
Yeah.
Jungle Book.
Yeah.
I don't think whoever made that ever actually saw Jungle Book before making it.
Yeah.
King Louis was the size of King Kong. Why? Why? Did you see the original movie?
Yeah. Yeah.
Mowgli looked more Asian than Indian. Sorry, but
yeah, that one wasn't.
I was like, his name's Mowgli.
Yeah.
He looks like he watches Naruto. It doesn't look like Mowgli.
That's like it wasn't. I liked it. It wasn't bad.
They made the snake for some reason an anaconda. That was another thing I was confused about. Why is the snake that big? Like, it was just the snake. It was just a little fucking
tree.
A little rattlesnake.
It was like a tree viper, green tree viper or something. But like, yeah, for like.
Then there was the live action Lion King, which was I thought that was good. It was what it was.
If the only thing I would have suggested for Lion King is like putting a little more cartoony faces on them. Like, not like full cartoon face, but like so
where it doesn't just feel like you're looking at what you just saw in the zoo.
Right, so it's not just like,
you're like, hey, that's the star of the Lion King.
Yeah, there's the whole pack of lions. There's the whole pride. Okay, which one's Nala? And then as soon as they talk, oh, okay, that one is
like Beyonce.
Right, it's like okay.
Simba was Gambino.
Yeah, like I liked it a lot. That's the only thing I was like, they would have kind of gave him a little more.
But that's why, like how you said, like we're gonna check out Pinocchio, but I don't know. The hopes aren't too high.
It's like it was like with Jurassic Park Dominion.
Yeah, don't go into it like.
Yeah, my expectations were low, so I was like, oh. Okay,
yeah, just go into it. You're watching a Disney movie. It's Tom Hanks talking to this lion ass doll. Yeah, this capping ass doll lies every 3 seconds.
He do be lying.
Yeah, you do. So transition into sports. Football season's begun. Hello.
Football.
Got football in the bag now. Football season started. Yep. Browns just won for their first time season opener since 2005 and their first time winning a away season opener in 28 years. Hey, Baker looked good today. One. At least I think one.
Yeah.
But he didn't look good in the first half, but he looked good in the second half.
Baker does what Baker does.
Well, did he look good or did our defense just fall apart?
I think it was a little bit of both. But I've always said, like, I was a Baker realist when he was on the Browns. He's above average quarterback at best. That's all he is. He's always going to give the defense 3-4 plays to have an interception.
He's always going to muff you a handful of snaps.
We could have had 3 interceptions, but...
What is it with that dude and snapping the ball? He's always muffing the damn snap. Man. Bitches bouncing off the ground.
There's like 3 or 4. So like
he did 2 in a row.
Yeah, that was
and
bad.
Like the second quarter, I was like,
he was shook.
Baker.
I mean, our D
grab the ball.
I'd be scared of Miles too. Like this D line in Minnesota, it's tearing up Aaron Rodgers.
For real. But yeah, Niners. I know everybody sees them dripped out in my Niner gear. We took a 10-19 loss today to the Chicago Bears in traditional San Fran fashion, and I love to see it. It was a downpour game in Chicago. Trey Lance looked good. Debo looked good. Elijah Mitchell went out for the game. Our running backs were fumbling left and right. It looked like some good Niners football out there. I liked what I saw.
I was an amateur in fantasy. Didn't take out George Kittle, who was out for the game.
Yeah, let's go over fantasy recap. See what we got here.
It's not over yet. I can't do a recap.
Well, that's true. Not a fantasy recap, but just like kind of where we're at. I'm looking at. I'm in 2 leagues here.
Shout out Reem. He got inducted to the South Hall of Fame. Will be South Hall of Fame.
Oh, Herbert's getting points now, and so is Eckler. Good shit. Keenan's hurt, though. He went out. Figures. Aaron Rodgers ain't getting them shit. He's got him 1.38. I'm winning 70-52. I got Justin Herbert giving me 23. Eckler with 10. Josh Jacobs with 5. Keenan Allen got me 10. Hawkinson got 7. Adam Thielen, I need to go off, but he's only got me 1.7. San Fran's defense got me 6, and Matt Gay got me 6. Kareem Hunt did good on my bench in my Yahoo. I'll go to that league. This league fell apart for me, y'all. I only have a 7% chance at winning. I'm down 73-105. I guess Trey Lance really didn't have too hot of a game. I have Tom Brady still to go tonight, but that is what it is. Kareem Hunt got me 23 on the bench, and Jarvis Landry got me 20 on the bench. Yeah.
Did you hear me? Kareem, he got inducted to South Hall of Fame.
Oh, no, I did not. That's cool.
Shout out him.
Fuck yeah. Shout out Kareem.
Shout out Mitch. He looked pretty good in Pittsburgh today.
Shout out Mitch. He did look good. I'm happy to see it.
Yeah, I'm happy he's in Pittsburgh, honestly. As fucked up as that sounds, but like he's in a good franchise and like system.
Yeah, he was all smiles on the field too. Yeah. He was enjoying himself.
If he was gonna thrive anywhere, that's the place to go thrive.
Beat a contending Super Bowl team last year.
Yeah.
I mean, I think that kind of got overlooked.
Yeah, and the nitty-gritties.
He didn't have a turnover.
I think that got overlooked.
Joe Burrow threw a pick 6 to Minka. First touchdown of the day.
And he had like a fumble. He had like 3 interceptions on a fumble or something. Aaron Rodgers getting annihilated.
His offensive line is gone. Thursday night game, I thought Matt Stafford and the Rams need some help. Cam Akers, whoever drafted Cam Akers, I will send you personally. I don't know. I'll send you some condolence money.
Yeah, a hug.
Like, I'll send you a quick 5 condolence money if you drop Cam Akers to get back your fantasy buy-in. Because, holy fuck. Jesus Christ. 3 rushing attempts and a fumble?
Yeah.
Yuck!
Yeah.
Gross!
That's a rough day.
So 4
I'll take,
like 4 or 5 targets with like 2 drops?
I'd rather have George Kittle that's not playing at all. Rather than that.
Yeah, bro. That actually gets you negative. Like,
literally.
Yeah, like, no. I agree.
Like, I was told, like...
It's one thing to get a negative basketball outing, but a negative football outing, I'll drop your ass. Like...
that's rough. That was a rough day.
That's where I go into the group chat and say, whoever wants this motherfucker, send me whatever trade now.
Right now. Before I change my mind. Golly.
Yeah, he looked bad. Rams looked bad. I don't think we're gonna see them in the playoffs this year based on that.
I don't know if they. I mean, they didn't look great, but the Bills just looked phenomenal.
Bills look dangerous.
Bills look
dangerous.
Von Miller looked like he was in his prime again. Like
Jared Allen. Wait, did I say his name? Josh Allen.
There we go, Jared Allen. That's who Von Miller.
Josh Allen. Yeah.
Old shout out Jared Allen back in the day, defensive end. But Josh Allen,
Vikings are on my mind.
Up. But
Bills look like a 13-14 game win team,
and they might add Odell.
How? Tell me, I don't know.
That's just the rumors.
He
could go back to the LA, or Von was recruiting him to go to the Bills again and run it back. He was like, "Come, I got a locker for you right next to me. Let's run it back."
I think he goes there.
He might.
He wants Josh throwing the ball.
Yeah.
Not Matt. I'm sorry, Matt Stafford. I think played his last great season.
I think. I'm not gonna say that, but I think Bills have a better offensive line and better system.
And if you look at it this way too, the interceptions weren't like direct picks. They were like, fuck, the lineman tipped it and the linebacker got it.
And one time he literally took a ball from the dude. Like, the
linebacker
Poyer literally said,
"Oh, I thought you were talking about the Poyer thing."
For Stafford. Like, it was like a dude, like the running back, like literally just got bullied. But like,
I unfortunately, I liked seeing the Rams lose, but I thought the Niners were going to beat the Bears today, but we're going to be at the bottom of the division with them. Seahawks are going to probably lose their opening game. Cardinals, I think they're losing to the Chiefs as we speak. We really needed to beat Chicago today, man. We fucked that up.
Yeah,
we fucked that all the way up.
Y'all fumbled the bag right there.
Yeah,
that's a rough way.
Literally fumbled the bag.
But y'all don't have not having George Kittle is rough. And playing on that shitty ass field that was flooded.
And like when I was watching, at this point, they don't give Debo nothing. He's getting doubled, tripled.
Oh yeah. Well, you don't have George Kittle out there to take off,
and he's still got a rushing touchdown off of a pitch out.
Yeah, like if Kittle's out there, the defense has to cover Kittle or double Kittle at least.
And he can hold blocks too for when Debo does those pitch out runs.
So it was rough. And shitty field condition, it was
bad. So anything else sports you want to touch on? Sunday night game prediction?
Who's playing tonight? I forget.
Who is playing tonight? Tampa Bay and Dallas? Tampa Bay and Dallas.
Tampa Bay then.
Tampa Bay beats Dallas?
I think Tom Brady's coming back with vengeance.
Let me confirm this.
But sports-wise, Donovan Mitchell to the Cavs.
Yes. Talk about that trade.
That's close.
All right. I love that trade. I love everything about that trade except for maybe the picks, but still.
That's all right.
I agree. I love that we gave up Sexton. Get that motherfucker off the team.
I was never sold on Sexton. I'm not saying it like that. Like, I hated Sexton, but like.
Never sold on him.
I didn't want to give up one of the big men.
I have a rule that I've been using the past couple of years, and it's a fantasy basketball rule, so it doesn't really pertain necessarily to the real life shit, but it kind of does at the same time. I do not like guys that I feel like can definitely not play me 82 games. If you can't even play, like that's one thing but like you know what I mean, like. How close can you get to that marker?
Yeah.
If I feel like you can only get, that's fine. You want to draft Colin Sexton, he'll give you 25-point games, 25 games that he plays.
Yeah.
But then he gets hurt. And then now all of a sudden he's not that.
Yeah, I feel that.
I'd rather draft guys like Desmond Bain that'll get you 20 a night 78 times. Yeah. That's what I like to draft. I don't go for these guys, like Dan, he always gets sick of me when we draft fantasy basketball together because he'll be like, what do you think of Colin Sexton? Does he play 82 games? Well, no, but then you know my answer.
Right.
Yep. Like, fuck off. Yeah, like that's how quick I keep it now.
No, I love that trade. I think they're immediate contenders.
And Donovan Mitchell plays 75 games plus.
The Spider. I love Donovan. He was one of my favorite people.
He fits in great with Garland, Jarrett Allen. Yes, Mobley. I love this. Veteran Kevin Love. Yes. Veteran Kevin Love.
Yeah.
Man, lineup looking nasty.
Yeah. I love it.
How many wins Cavs get? 82 games. How many wins? 50?
Above 50.
55?
I was going to go 50 or plus. 50 plus.
I'll call it 55. I'll say 55. We get 55 wins. Give or take a couple. Especially with our division and teams we get to play a lot.
I'm saying lowest 50 wins, max 65.
Oh, yeah. Okay, I like that. Max 65. That's like everything clicks immediately.
Yep. And like everyone's just boom,
that's like
boom,
no
boom,
kinks
boom.
at all clicks. Yeah. That's like no kinks all clicks.
Smooth
if we can come out game one and shit's looking like we're meshing,
get up to
then that can be up to 65. Yeah. What teams will still be ahead of the Cavs, would you say?
I don't know. Well, in the East, I don't know.
Warriors, I keep saying it.
Well, yeah,
gotta look out.
That's why I want you
to not take your eyes off that damn team.
I don't think that. I don't see them losing.
All they did was add this offseason. Like, they didn't even take away.
That's what, they
just added
scary
tall-ass fucking center that can now come in behind Wiseman.
I think them and the Lakers are one of the two that are coming out of the West. So I think LeBron's coming back with a little vengeance this year.
Saying like, okay, I hear the talk. Fuck this.
And I think Pat Beverly was a good pickup for them, honestly. Bring some attitude and shit to them.
He kind of has to ego check at the door, though.
But I think that's why they want him on the team, is to get that dog mentality.
That confidence.
Yes, like, no, we're not bitches. Like, let's go. Like, oh, you're playing with LeBron. What do you mean? He wasn't in the playoffs last year. He's playing with me. Granted, he has 4 rings. I don't have any. Well, I don't know if Pat Bev has any. He might have one somewhere. I don't know. But
Clippers.
But, you like...
Right? No, they never won that?
No.
Oh, no, yeah, Kawhi won with San Antonio.
So it's like, well, I made the playoffs. Like, fair. I like that attitude. That's why they brought him, that mentality. Like, no, we're not. We got to change how we think. We're not soft. That type of thing.
Okay, so you think that actually helped them?
Yeah.
Like, hold on, we got to remind each other who the fuck we are type
that
shit.
Type of, exactly. Like, we're not these soft-ass bitches people are saying you guys are. Like, let's go play 82 games and win. Like, come on.
Anthony Davis, fix up that fucking knee.
You're in your fucking prime.
Yeah, like.
Let's go, big dog. Come on, big dog. Like, yeah.
Don't stub your toe on the way out of the tunnel.
Yeah, that's why I think they brought him there for that mentality, that hustle, the drive type thing.
And Madison. I love Madison.
Yes. But, yeah. So, I think Warriors probably coming out of the West again. I think the Cavs could come out of the East if they click well.
It'll be nice to watch.
Yeah, it'll
be good Cavs ball to watch. I was already talking to Wifey. I want to get out to a game.
Yeah.
Maybe see a Cavs Celtic.
I'll definitely
nice little Cavs Celtics game, or catch a Saturday night game, something I don't have to request off for.
That's where I'm like.
Excited for it.
Yeah.
So, pivot into a little combat sports. Talk pro wrestling.
Okay.
You know I love talking it.
Yeah.
I'm sure I got to fill you in on a couple of things, which I love. I love doing it. So, do you want to start with WWE or AEW? Because actually, this is one of those. Well, AEW has the main bulk of the news because some crazy shit went down.
Well, wasn't it with?
We'll start there.
It was with
it
was with CM Punk,
and the Bucks and Omega. So
and so CM Punk's a little bitch.
Yeah, and even I'm saying it, and I love Punk. So to try to go over the whole situation, because I watched the pay-per-view, I watched all out. So right now, Tony Khan is going in. Tony Khan's having a lot of trouble right now because when he wrote up a lot of these original contracts, he gave them an amazing amount of creative control.
Yeah.
But now what that means is now you start running into issues. Okay, so like
dramatic little
and
things.
it started last December when it was Hangman. All of this shit started really last December. It was Hangman versus Kenny Omega.
Okay. And
in Hangman's contract clause and in Omega's, they can dictate how their match goes. So if they want to go over, they can say, "Hey, I'm going over. Like I'm winning tonight."
Right.
Sorry, bud.
Sorry about it.
But when they encountered each other, it was the first time that this has happened yet in AEW.
And
Kenny's going, "Hey, I'm going over tonight. I'm winning." And Hangman's like, fuck you are. No, I'm going over. I'm winning.
It's in my contract.
It's
in my contract.
And then when Tony goes to deal with it, he gets 2 people that fairly say, "What are you talking about? Right here in writing, contract. You're saying that I can do this." Like,
you fucked up.
Yeah. So Kenny was like, eventually it got to the point where Kenny was like, "Look, I'm taking the loss, but then I'm taking time off. Fuck this."
Yep.
Like, nah. Like, I'm letting my body heal. Like, if this is what we're doing, like, I'll bite the bullet. Fuck it.
But
but
there's consequences.
So then though it started to be like, oh fuck, and then they ran into it again when Danielson went against Hangman. You got 2 guys that are saying, "Hey, I'm going over tonight," and the other one's saying, "No."
Right.
Like,
fuck off.
Yeah. And then that kind of created a little rift, and then Hangman bit the bullet. He took time off. So then it's like, okay, everybody's starting to get a little pissed off here.
Yeah.
And then
it's like, well, if you're gonna make me not live up to my contract, well, I'm gonna not live up to my contract, and I'm not gonna be there.
And then Hangman dropped the belt to Punk. Well, Punk got injured, so then they had to vacate the title, and Moxley got it. Well, Punk coming back, he's got that creative control. He says, "I'm going over. I'm getting the title. Let's do it." Well, in the process of all this shit happening, there's so much talent in the back, like especially the ones that don't have that in the clause. Like, man, what are you like? What?
Right.
Like, I'm working so hard over here just for you to be like, like what the hell? So you got a lot of tensions are flying. So Punk wins the title, and then on the media scrum, just starts dogging all of the talent in the back and like airing out dirty laundry. Like, he goes, oh, everybody wants to talk about Hangman.
Right,
He
yeah.
goes, when Hangman was coming up in 2014, who kept the lights on in his house? Like, who
Right,
paid the
yeah,
bills?
I remember that.
All
I
this
remember
shit.
seeing that and shit.
And then, like, you know, starts talking about, like, oh, all of our EVPs are ran by children, like Kenny Omega and the Bucks. He's
and
like,
it was just dog and management, like
Dog
the
and Tony, who's
crew,
sitting right
everybody,
next to him. And, like, yeah, he goes,
like being a spoiler.
and they're like, how do you feel about, you know, now you're going to be doing a feud with MJF? He goes, Tony over here, he goes, loves watching me work with children. And, like, as soon as he gets to the back, the Bucks and Omega, as expected, were like, what are you doing to our company? Kicked in the fucking door. Punk, of course, tears his bicep in the middle of the fight. So now they have to vacate the title again. And it looks like he's getting quietly released by the company for being a hazard to the fucking locker room.
Well,
they had to suspend the Bucks and Kenny Omega for the fight. One of the young Bucks actually got knocked out by CM Punk, which I'm sorry, that makes you look like a bitch.
Yeah, he got caught with a great punch.
I mean, obviously, it tore Punk's bicep.
Well,
better be a good punch.
That's like the thing with people like a lot of people don't know. Like, if you get caught with the right punch by anybody, you get knocked out like that. Like you get caught slipping. It's just it happens. like so in a fight. Oh well, he got knocked out, but we jumped his ass. Like that's you go into a fight, you kind of
and then
you live with it.
Now here's what's wild though: Kenny Omega and the Bucks just won the trios title at the pay-per-view, so they had to vacate those titles too. And they crowned new champions. They crowned the Death Triangle as champions on Wednesday's version of Dynamite. And now they have a tournament for the AEW World title. And I'm not going to lie, the names that they have in this tournament, yuck. That's who you're going to have carry the flag. So anyways, I like some of the talent. Like, for example, they got Moxley, who's going to go against Sammy Guevara, who's an annoying piece of shit. So I hope he goes over. And I'm sure they're going to put Moxley over, who was Dean Ambrose, as you know.
Right.
Then they got Bryan Danielson, who's going to be going up against Chris Jericho. And, like, another thing that I thought of when I saw the AEW World, like, the tournament bracket is, what if you didn't have these WWE guys?
That's what, right. And with Triple H,
you're telling me Michaels, 3 out of the 4 finalists of your tournament
are former
came from WWE.
And with all this bullshit happening and unprofessionalism happening, Triple H with Shawn Michaels running things,
everything's going great.
Hey, Y2K, what's up? Y2J, you trying to make a little appearance?
Hey, Danielson, they're treating your neck like you're fucking 20. Come back and work for us.
You just want to come do some creative shit for us? You don't even have to. You can wrestle whenever you want. If you want to.
Triple H and Jericho working alongside each other with Michaels, that'd be just
come help us with this creativity. Remember when you shut down the WWE pretending it was Y2J?
Yeah. And then they had the whole countdown, the wah.
Remember how electric that was? Just come help us with those ideas.
And I feel like, you know what, Triple H, if I was hiring Jericho, you know what I'd use him for? Help coach these young cats on promos.
Like Edges. How Edges with wrestling.
Yeah.
Helping the young guys be a professional wrestler. So
Edges helping him in the ring. Jericho can help him on the stick. Help him on the mic.
Because
there's some of them that really need help.
Yeah.
Like you're this close to being a star. You just need to talk. And we need to make that work.
You just need a little guidance, a little push.
Like that's why I'm really glad they got Io Shirai and Dakota Kai with Bayley.
Yeah.
Bayley's like, let me show everybody that you guys can wrestle.
I think it's only a matter of time before all the former WWE wrestlers leave AEW.
It's starting to look like that.
It's only a matter of time.
And like Tony Khan, like I hate to say it, as much as I love what AEW is doing as being like a side product,
it had a great run.
And it's
time to you realize how much money this shit actually.
And you know what? I feel like we've seen this movie before. We saw it with TNA Impact.
Yeah.
Oh shit, they got AJ Styles. Oh shit, they got Samoa Joe. Oh shit, they got Kurt Angle. Oh shit, they got Scott Steiner. This is cool.
Had a great run for a few years,
and then all of a sudden, Kurt Angle and Booker T are walking down the WWE.
This shit costs millions upon millions a year to run. And we're barely making profit.
And he's over here thinking like, oh, creative control's a good thing, but now I got egos going left and right.
And I got 2 people that won't lose.
They can't compromise. And now because this one has to bite the bullet, he wants time off. Like
this one won't lose for the benefit of the company. But in WWE, Edge is coming back and will take flops to boost a young guy's career.
And Cody, when he came back to the WWE, like part of his promo, like talking about like why he's back, he goes, why am I working my ass off every night for money when one of our guys, talking about Kenny, he goes, could just literally sit out for months and still get paid and come back whenever he chooses because that's what's in the contract.
Yeah.
Like, what the hell?
Yeah. That's rough. It's unfortunate, but that's WWE is here to stay and will always be here. And I don't know about AEW.
Yeah, I mean, as far as AEW goes, I think I just covered everything that I wanted to. To cut into WWE, Braun Strowman's back.
I saw.
Big boy Braun.
That boy.
He tripped up going against Gable.
He's a little rusty. He's not going to rust off. But I forgot how big he was, dude.
But we wish the best for AEW, though. I did just want to say that. I wish the best for AEW. We'll see how they go, but don't compete with WWE.
I'm just going to say, because knowing the time is up. That's all. Like, you can end a series of a show without having it go straight all the way disaster.
Yeah.
Like,
I mean, if you're vacating titles every couple months, it's looking like, oh my god.
And you're literally, all your shows are just people having dramatic spill talks, like TED Talks. Like,
I mean, for example, dude, MJF returned at the pay-per-view, didn't even get talked about because of everything that went down. That's bad business.
Yeah.
That's, hey, we had a major return tonight
and
that could be a viral moment, and nobody knows about it because we got our guys fighting in the locker room. Like, fucking security. Tony's still talking at the security table with fucking Taz, one of the announcers. Yeah. And you just see security flying to the back. Like, they got that over the radar. Like, they were over the walkie-talkie. Like, we got a situation.
Help me. There's 2 of us back here, and there's 8 people fighting.
Yeah, like, damn. We got a whole locker room going crazy now. So WWE got Braun's back.
I like that.
Really excited about that. I'm loving these returns. I wanted to talk about Clash of the Castle with you. I watched that pay-per-view last Saturday after I got home from the wedding. It was pretty cool. At the end of the night, like, Joey's like, yeah, we're all going back to my place and everything. And I'm thinking, oh. So I'm like, Joey, hey, man. I was like, what? He goes, you want to go home, don't you? I was like, is that all right? And he goes, man. He goes, with everything you did, he goes, for me and everything. He goes, I really appreciate it. He goes, you want to go? He goes, you want to go home and watch Clash of the Castle, don't you? I was like, can I? And I was like, yeah, I'm relieving all my best man duties. He goes, you can go. I was like, all right, cool. So I came home, and man, that was the best pay-per-view of the fucking year. That was even better than WrestleMania.
I didn't watch that one yet.
There was a couple 5-star matches. Everybody's raving about Sheamus and Gunther. I haven't seen chops like this in years.
I didn't watch it.
Sheamus got his chest so chopped that it was bleeding. Ow. It was busted open.
That's rough.
And, like, him and Gunther, like, right before the match.
They have, like, actual beef, though?
No, okay, but they're very physical. Yeah, so it's like the Irishman and the
they just, right. They just care. And
right before the match, what made it this cool was it had an element of realness to it. You kind of wonder at first, like, wait, what were they just talking about? Sheamus goes, gloves off. Gunther goes, gloves off.
So they're hitting.
All right, and they touched like fists, and you're thinking like, what? And right when they ring the bell and they come in each other, you're like, whoa. Like, they're actually, like, kind of getting a little, like, stiff with it. Like, holy shit.
Yeah, that's cool.
And, like, still wrestling and stuff. And, like, when Sheamus got, like, really cracked in the mouth, he goes, come on, Russian. And goes right back out. It's like, oh, shit. Like, these guys are brawling.
That's always good to see.
And then, like, at the end, like, walking up the ramp, like, right before Sheamus took the walk, Gunther, like, went like that. And Sheamus turned around and goes, mutual respect. Like, come on. Yeah. Like, that was a fight, bro.
Yeah,
like, that was shit.
That's good to see that it wasn't like a beef, and that's why they were throwing heavy.
No, it's just
that's
like,
always bad. That's
well,
bad
they were
business.
both bare knuckle brawlers,
right? That's why.
So they were just like, "You want to do it?" Like, I guess it looked like they talked about it in the back. Like, I'll let you know when we get out there.
Yeah.
And Sheamus just like,
ask me one last time.
Yeah.
That's probably what he says. Ask me when we're out there, and I'll let you know.
You can
I'll tell you how I'm feeling.
They both even got that like little grin on their face, like, "Oh shit, we're about to really go." Like, yeah, that match was great. I thought Riddle and Rollins, who have legitimate heat, was great. And like you could tell too, so Riddle hit him.
Riddle's up and comer, man.
Riddle hit him with like one of those kicks where you drop your back down and you like kind of kick up at him, and you could tell. I mean, it went. And Rollins was just kind of like when he fell into the turnbuckle, he's like, "All right." So in like a couple spots later, when he came up for the fucking knee, and Riddle like came at him from across the ring, and he drove that knee into him. When Riddle turned around and the spit came flying out of his face, his eyes were literally like, I just knew there was a glare of stars, and he was just like, holy shit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's like, God damn, that's a knee.
Yeah, that was a great match, though. But then, dude, the main event. I haven't reacted to a main event match like that, and I don't know long. Drew McIntyre versus Roman Reigns might be my match of the year. At one point, I was with the 1, 2, this is it. Oh my God! I literally was like, this is it.
Come on, what the fuck? I love.
And Tyson Fury had a funny ass botch on Austin Theory. So Tyson Fury's in the crowd, and I at least got to show you this after we do the pod.
All right.
So he's supposed to, and he's drinking in the crowd. So like the whole story with this goes, and Pat McAfee talked about it on the pod. So pretty much the is when Austin Theory runs out with the Money in the Bank briefcase and he starts handing to lean over the barricade and hit him with a punch, but don't pull it. Definitely pull it.
Don't actually hit him.
Tyson Fury in the crowd, he is just down in vodka lemonades. Like just literally at one point he's got 2 of them going like that. Damn. And I'm sure Triple H in the back's like, hold on, we didn't tell him to
not drink.
Maybe chill out. Like hopefully he don't miss this cue. So Theory is literally and stalling in it. Like one looking.
That's why he was holding the briefcase and not giving it to him.
And in the frame you see Tyson's Fury buddy like, dude, no, like this is your cue. Go. And he's just like, oh shit, fuck. All right. Drink drops to the ground. Tyson Fury just runs over to the barricade and stiff as fuck. Boom! Austin Theory literally briefcase goes flying out of the hand. The ref looks back. The ref looks back like what? And Theory's just not even head down, just stiff as a board, cold on the fucking thing. And he looks down. He looks at the ref, and Tyson's like. He goes, just sit down. And he's like, oh shit.
Don't let him know this was messed up.
Yeah.
Sit guys down, bro.
Fury's over here like, hold on, wait, fuck. Drink
Wake him up. Oh, that's rough.
So fucking cool.
That's hilarious.
Theory's just knocked out cold as.
Because I'd seen the scuffle of like him like not giving the briefcase to the ref, and I was wondering.
He's still in frame when he looks at the ref, and he's like, oh no. Like, I actually think I hit him.
You leveled him, actually. You didn't hit him. You leveled him.
Oh, dude, he runs into it. Like, what the fuck?
Full force.
Yeah, dude, the briefcase just boing right out of his hands, and he just boom.
Good night. Good night. Wake you up in the morning.
Yeah, dude, that match was incredible. And they debuted the Solo Sikoa. The Usos' younger brother.
Oh, okay.
So they debuted him. That's who came to Roman's wrestling.
Yeah.
Oh, I knew when he came out and hit Drew with the chair. Yeah. I was like, that's it.
That's how they're gonna end it. Also, I'm still like waiting on because Drew's gonna take the torch from Roman.
You think he's the guy?
Yeah. I think it has to be.
Based on how he got to win the title at Mania, and then
I just think and he can hold the weight up.
Cheers, y'all! Hope you're having a blessed, wonderful Sunday.
He can hold the weight of like being that guy that carries it. But yeah.
Anything you wanted to mention wrestling wise? Anything at all that we forgot to cover? Oh, Naomi and Sasha are set to return, so that's cool. So is Bray Wyatt.
Fucking.
Like they're under contract.
What about Dominic Mysterio?
Oh, good one. Yeah, Dominic Mysterio turning heel on Clash of the Castle night against the Judgment Day. So I only have beef with one part of the heel turn. I think the heel turn was brilliant. I think it was much needed, and I really like it.
Took too long with hitting Ray though. Like Ray's pleading with him. Took too long.
Not even just that. What I didn't like about it was I don't understand why they did the heel turn when they won the match. I thought it would have made more sense to put Judgment Day over and then Dominic can come from the angle of trusty bums.
I think it's more of a branching out from underneath his dad.
Like he's just tired of being overlooked. That angle.
That and so he can have his own in the universe, his own. It's not Rey Mysterio's son anymore. Now he can separate his
it's no longer it's Rey and his son coming out.
Exactly. I think that's.
Oh look, his son can do a drop kick. How cute!
Right? Yeah. I feel like that's more of the angle they were taking, so he could, because he could be a wrestler in the future.
I don't understand. I don't see WWE champion.
No.
Tag team champion, sure.
Intercontinental.
Yes, I think that's his ceiling. It's like an U.S. title. Yeah, I think that I agree with that. That's like his
and he'll do great.
Yeah, and there's nothing wrong with those
No.
titles. I love the Intercontinental
But
title.
it's like with Drew.
It's actually one of my favorite
Drew
titles to
Drew
watch.
McIntyre can carry the weight of WWE champion. He can carry the weight of carrying the WWE Universe main person. Dominic Mysterio still can't even get underneath his dad's shadow yet.
Yeah, like we need, like you said, we need to see that happen.
And see how he performs. But other than that,
All right. So then I'm gonna finish out. We're gonna do the Cuddy versus Kanye wrap up. I'm gonna run through the score. We will be posting playlists on Spotify and Apple Music. Give us a couple days on that. We did a 14-round anything goes Kanye West versus Kid Cudi battle to kick off the winners bracket. Sleepless Radio episode 111. I had Kanye West. My good friend Scooter, he had Kid Cudi. And I won the coin toss. I called the coin toss heads. I wanted to go first. I wanted to make a statement. I wanted to
set the tone.
Yes, sir. So to kick it off, we're gonna do. Well, I'll just tell you who won the round and what the songs were. So All of the Lights versus Gorgeous. I won that round.
Yeah, you should.
I won that. Erase Me. So he started off the second round with Erase Me, and I countered him with Heartless, and I won that round.
Yeah.
Then round 3, I started with Can't Tell Me Nothing. He countered me with Embrace the Martian, and I won with Can't Tell Me Nothing.
That was a tough one.
So I'm up 3-0 at this point. Oh, I was not envy of the judges, especially when we get to some of these rounds.
Yeah.
Now, this round I thought was an upset for him. He started it with Cuddy Zone. I countered him with Put On. Cuddy Zone beat me.
I don't agree. All right, man.
When they say Jeezy out in traffic, they say Jeezy on the mothership.
I don't. Yeah.
So them pussy haters running straight back to the dealership. That's right. I work for NASA. Yeah, I work for NASA.
I'm with you.
Call that bitch my bodyguard. Yeah, it's my bodyguard.
You would love me as a judge.
Yes.
That's all I'm gonna say.
To start round 5, I played Runaway. He countered me with Higher. Runaway won. Ghost. So at this point, I'm up 4-1. He started off with Ghost. I counted him with 4 or 5 seconds. Ghost won.
Yeah, that's a
4 or 5 seconds. I just love.
Yeah.
So then we're round 7. I'm up 4-2. I started off. Now I thought this one was a tough fucking round. I started it off with Jesus Walks. He countered me with Soundtrack to My Life. Soundtrack to My Life won.
That's a great counter, and it's whoever had the last song in the round would have won. If I feel that's
and
how
that
I feel
one,
yeah.
Whichever one was just freshest on whose ever mind.
Yep. That's how that one went.
So now it's 4-3 to start round 8, and he played Cleveland Is the Reason. I countered him with Run This Town. Run This Town one.
See, that's the same way.
So now it's 5-3.
If Cleveland was the Reason would have been second, they would have won. But yeah.
That was like
That's
a city.
tough,
that was like
yeah.
a city loves round.
Mm-hmm.
I started off round 9 up 5-3 with Never Let Me Down. He countered it with Sad People. Never Let Me Down one.
Oh.
Which actually I gotta say it because it has my favorite Kanye bar of all time in the song. When he says racism still alive, or new music coming out, and I just don't be feeling it. Racism still alive, and they just be concealing it. And I know, they don't want me in the damn club. They even make me show ID to get inside a Sam's Club.
Yeah.
I love that bar. I remember the first time I ever heard that, I was like, I was like, God damn, that's a hard bar. So I'm up 6-3. His back's starting to get against the wall. He started round 10 with the Scots, and I countered him with Gold Digger. So now I'm winning 7-3. Now this was another stretch of just tough fucking rounds. I started round 11 up 7-3 with Stronger. He countered me with Up Up and Away, and Up Up and Away won. I was like, damn.
Yeah.
So I'm up 7-4. His back's against the wall. He started with These Worries. I countered him with Good Life. These Worries won.
That's what we countered up.
Good Life?
That was a song for you.
I mean, yeah, but
it's a weak counter because we got it's a good song, but weak counter.
Well, I started round 13 with Monster, and he played this one smart. He countered me with Day and Night. Day and Night one. So now I'm up 7-6, round 14. He played Pursuit of Happiness. I countered him with Paris. And you know what that song is. So Pursuit of Happiness, that swept me. That was actually the only sweep of the night, was Pursuit of Happiness. That completely swept me. So 7-7, bonus round, winner take all, for all the marbles. All falls down is what I started with. He countered it with Mr. Rager.
Wow.
And I won with a sweep. All falls down.
That's kind of surprising with the judging. Like, he didn't win that last one.
Oh, I thought.
Yeah,
I felt myself starting to sing like the "Tell me where you're headed."
Yeah, as soon as because but that's a good battle. But yeah.
Well, on that note, I think we've covered everything. Great winners bracket showdown. We're gonna get the battle, seeing what it's gonna be next Saturday. Pull up a chair next Saturday if you're down.
Yep.
Big bet. That'll be episode 8. This was episode 7. Thank y'all for tuning in. We appreciate y'all. We love y'all. Football season's begun.
Football.
Everybody's spirits are high. You know who it is. You know who it is. Super Fried Snuka and El Tucker Tente, baby. Y'all take it easy. Keep the love high and the hate low, and we'll see you guys next Saturday.
Ciao.